Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I'm here in Abu Dhabi at Breakbulk Middle East with Cyril Varghese of Fluor, who has just finished moderating a panel, kind of two parts, the new normal and risk mitigation.
Right.
So I'm hoping that, first of all, I'd like you to tell us, how do you define the new normal?
Yeah, so in the current market situation, we've seen a lot of new formats emerge, and one of the major format changes in the breakbulk industry on the multi-purpose vessels has been the emergence of a commercial management scenario, which the market seems to be embracing. Now, we wanted to have conversations around it, and that was the initial thought about this panel, that we could try and identify what makes more sense from a risk perspective and what has more longevity in the long run. Now, one of the major questions which a lot of people had was, okay, now you have new formats coming in with purely commercially managing fleets, whether this is going to stay for the long term or whether it's more of a short-term phenomenon where the owners want to mitigate the risk and get a slightly higher earning from the dismal rates which you see in the market on a daily charter basis. So overall, I think the consensus was that this is here to stay. Even when the market goes up, they seem to be suggesting that there would be place for both the formats to coexist. Now, we later decided, especially in the wake of few of the developments which we've had recently with carriers declaring bankruptcy as late as last week, to kind of take stock of the current market situation and what can we expect in the future. Yes. So it's also expected that there would be much more mergers and consolidations which would be happening. One thing which everybody is worried about is whether these consolidations and mergers would lead more into monopolies. But I think those fears are a little allayed when we had conversations around those topics.
Okay, that's good. So from the EPC perspective, what's your outlook for the next year?
Well, that's kind of a difficult question to answer, and this is something which we get asked by everybody. So during the interaction with freight forwarders, with shipping lines, there was certainly a lot of pessimism about what's going to happen in the future. For us as an EPC and for the entire industry to stay stable, we certainly want to see more projects coming online. I can say it's not all doom and gloom what we see right now. We still do have projects getting announced, projects moving into execution. For at least for the next couple of years, I would expect the market to remain fairly robust. It may not help the rates too much, but then sure, we're not going to see a very bad 2017 and 2018. However, we are still concerned about the mega projects not getting announced, because there is a lead time between announcing a mega project, going into a feed, and then getting into EPC, getting into the final investment decision. So unless we see mega projects being discussed at this point of time, we may have a problem going into 2019, 2020 yes, in terms of what we would be able to achieve. So overall, I think the sentiment is still understandably negative in the general population, but then we hope that the situation would change over the next few months towards a positive direction.
All right, great. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you, Leslie.